Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. Well, for you audio listeners, you join us this week, Gravelwood Car Sales. Here we are in the old Handover Bay.
Yeah.
Flanked by, you said it's a new shaped Nissan Qashqai, but it's not the newest shaped Nissan Qashqai. It's a 3-year-old one, you said. There's a newer version, isn't there?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the newer shaped car.
No, I think there's a newer one.
No. No.
Are you sure?
Well, that make
I think
literally right now,
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the year that we are in.
Yeah. Okay.
Present day.
The time goes by so quickly.
It does.
Yeah.
And an Audi TT.
Yeah.
Both black, very on brand for you.
Yeah, love a black car.
I feel like you exclusively stock black cars. What's that about?
Not exclusively, but black's very safe in the motor trade.
Is it?
Everyone accepts a black car. Everyone accepts a grey car. Everyone accepts a blue car.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're safe colours.
Okay, fine. So if I offered you a strawberry pink Boxster Spider, you're not going to take it?
Well, if you'd offered me a strawberry pink Nissan Qashqai, I'd say no. But
Porsche's a bit different.
Porsche's a little bit different, and Ferrari a bit different now. Some of the brands are, because obviously Ferrari just used to be red.
Of
It's
course,
not the case anymore.
Do you think actually red Ferraris are harder to sell now?
I don't think they're harder. I think if you're buying your first, especially the mid-engine car, I think you go to red. And then from there, I think you then start exploring.
Yeah, I think because customization or personalization has become so popular, I think people are just not only braver with their color choices on all cars, but seeking out individual specs because it's all about the Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people literally want a different color because they want to stand out.
Yeah,
I think that's literally why they do it.
Now that you can take a pic of 400 296 GTBs online, might as well wait and pick a juicy one rather than the red with Koyo.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, if you are listening to us or if you're watching us, it is a little bit echoey in here today because Tony has less stock than usual, which is good for him. But we don't really have much sound dampening in here because, well, I reckon we're here every 6 weeks or so. So
something like that.
I'm sorry for the echo, but
we're sorry about this. Needs must. We're very busy at the moment.
Well, I do have another apology actually that I need to put out because people were furious, at least on Instagram, that I didn't upload a video to YouTube on Sunday.
Well, I was going to mention, mate, because I got a DM from someone as well who
No
was,
way.
yeah. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Like, why did say, and he's not even said anything.
Yeah, people were really
How dare you?
checking in. Actually, some people sent some really nice messages. You know, is everything okay? Where are you? And then some people were like, this is your job. It's the least you could do. Well, my wife is in China for work.
Yeah.
And that has meant that I've been on full-time daddy daycare. I'm now day 4 or 5 of full-time daddy daycare.
You had enough?
No, I'm literally, I think it's so much, like, for me, it's hilarious. I am probably ruining our child. Like, I think I've spoiled her rotten, but for me, who cares? My wife can figure that out when she comes back. But yeah, trying to film and edit YouTube video and full-time. Anyway, this wasn't a thing. So sadly, Sunday, I just didn't work out, but I'm making up for it this week.
Have you got a big episode going live?
I mean, it's a big one.
Really?
But, well, it's...
B-roll and everything.
Lots of B-roll. It is a Porsche one. Just
nice music and all that. Like.
Oh yeah, all the music, all the music, all the 911s.
Is there mountains and water and stuff?
No, because of the daddy daycare thing, I can't go that far. But that's fine.
Fun.
I'm feeling inspired. I got a plan in place.
Right.
The video is going to be 911 ST versus, look at me, old car wow, 2025 911 Carrera T. Basically the top and the bottom ends of the 911 market.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so £115,000 price difference, which means you could get 2 Carrera T's for the price of one ST.
List to list.
List to list, yeah, list to list.
Yeah.
Arguably, I think that list price, like I don't think there's many options that could increase an ST value. Carrera T, you can go mad. Do you know what I mean? Like
of course.
So the car that I'm driving from Porsche, I think is only got like 5 or 6 grand of options on it on the ST.
And
that's the car
it.
I'm in at the moment, and that's it. Where with the Carrera T, you can go mental. But again, Porsche GB haven't. So they're both quite close to list price. But yeah, very different concepts. But my argument, my query being, firstly, the ST's just had too much hype. I hate anything with that much hype.
Yeah.
But the Carrera T, if you can't get a slot on a GT3 and you missed the ST allocation as we all did, because they're only making 1963 of them, 1,963 of them, and they're now, what, £500,000?
No, they're not actually, but all right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Nowhere near 500,000.
Does the Carrera T get you anywhere close? That's what I want to figure out. Because you know I'm a Carrera T fan, and they've now put the 6-speed in there. It's got some nice... for me, like this is the most buzzed. I'm like, oh, where is it?
So you get like 3 views.
Yeah, definitely get 3 views. I'm going to put way too much thought and effort into it, but I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And can I just give you some initial reportage on the ST?
Of course.
Because I picked it up yesterday.
An exclusive.
Yeah, a little preview.
All right.
So I picked it up yesterday, drove it home from Porsche Reading.
Yeah, which is
Porsche
15,
GB.
20 minutes for you, yeah.
No, that was an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh, right.
And then drove it here this morning.
Nice.
So I've done a couple of hours in it, probably.
On the motorway.
Yeah, apart from the Larry bit from the motorway up here to your to your showroom.
Literally a racetrack.
Well, I think we think of it as a racetrack. It's the most dangerous racetrack in the world.
It's all blind. Yeah. You just got to keep your foot in.
Literally. It's so bumpy.
Yeah,
if you've never been to Gravelwood car sales, well, you're really missing out because, you know, it's always nice to visit a tip. But the roads up here are narrow and bumpy and blind and uphill and often single track. But you feel like once you know them, you can take it all at 60 miles an hour. Yeah. Anyway, so a few things, some initial impressions I'll share. Mm-hmm. When I drove it at Porsche GB across the car park to get some shots of it outside the Porsche showroom, I was like, oh, what's everyone talking about? This is just a GT3 touring. Like, feels identical. Because all the hype is like, oh my God, the lightweight flywheel, the clutch is so insane. It's like a Carrera GT. Like, you got to just ease off it and it rattles and it shakes and it's so raw. I was like, no, it's just literally a GT3 touring.
Just a 911.
Yeah. So I was like, this is a bit disappointing.
Another
and actually,
one.
Someone came out of the dealership and have a nice chat. They were looking at buying a 911. I don't know what they were looking to buy. They were coming out of a Vantage. And they were shopping. Anyway, so we came to have a chat.
So, from a dealer point of view, I can't tell you how much of a crossover there is between Porsche and Aston Martin customers. It's huge.
Huge.
Yeah. Either
Chopping
side.
and changing.
Chopping and changing.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's huge. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, he's quite mad, that.
Yeah.
He was after a 4-seat, 2+2. He has 3 kids. And he wanted something like that. And he was
not
looking
like
at,
one of his kids then.
Yeah, no. Because there's 4 seats in a 911, isn't there?
Yeah, but he's got 3, you said.
3 kids, him and 3 kids, 4 people.
Where's his wife then? Ain't got one of them.
She definitely wasn't in the equation.
No, she wasn't in the equation.
I didn't ask. I was like, cool, mate. You do you.
That's another
freedom. No, I'm joking. Sorry. Anyway, we got distracted here. The point being, they were like, oh, how is it? I was like, mate, whatever.
Who cares?
Who cares?
But you've driven it 10 yards. You've done a me.
Yeah. You know, have I told this before about Seb Delaney and the Megane? Was it Megane RS? We went to...
Did he crash?
No, this is my favourite early YouTube story of all time. We went to Paris to the Renault factory to collect a Megane press car for him.
Nice. Yeah.
And he was vlogging and I was like helping him. And literally we'd picked up the car in the car park and driven it to the gates.
Yeah.
And he started reviewing it on camera. Oh, it feels fantastic. I was like,
Seb, you drove it 2 yards.
The steering is amazing. I was like, Seb, just give yourself some time here, mate. So yes, anyway, then I drove it home and I was like, okay, it's got a personality.
Yeah.
There's something which feels a little bit more hot roddy than our cars. Like the engine, it's definitely more noticeably motorsport.
Yeah.
So when you're off the clutch, when the clutch is disengaged, you're not anywhere near the pedal, it is rattling around a bit more. There is a bit more rattle. I don't know what that is. Can someone technical please explain to me?
Bit of flywheel, no?
Yeah, but why is a lightweight flywheel louder than a non-lightweight flywheel?
Okay.
Do you know?
No.
No, so nor do I.
I don't really
it's something
care.
to do with inertia. There's something anyway. So when it's just going,
Yeah. They're saying GTRs do that all the while, by the way.
Interesting.
Rattle around.
And then, obviously, because of the lightweight flywheel, it revs a lot quicker. So it's got that Carrera GT style sort of very fast rev.
Yeah.
So these kind of elements give it a little bit of personality. And then it's got the steering ratio or the different updated steering wheel and the shorter, what am I saying?
Short gear ratio.
The short gear ratio and updated steering.
Yeah.
The new 992.2 GT3s have got. So it's definitely a different car.
But these are all real small changes, aren't they?
I got home just being a bit like, I think it's all hype. Like, I think people just decided that this was the best 911 ever before actually driving it.
Wow.
Then I got on the racetrack here.
Oh.
Quite excited now.
You like it now, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is...
Why don't you buy one, mate?
Shut up. The thing is...
Suit you, that would.
I can tell you right now...
Yeah.
I already know my summary will be, it wasn't and it isn't worth more than 30 grand more than a standard GT3. That will be my summary. Because it just isn't.
What, list for list?
Yeah, list for list. Let's say we were back in a world where you and I both got offered slots on either a GT3 Touring or an ST. I would tell you buy the ST if it was 30 grand more.
Right.
100 grand more than a GT3, which is what it was. Not worth it.
Right.
But there is something cool about it. On initial impressions, on the first...
I must have 100 grand more? I suppose it is.
100 grand more, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, list to list.
Yeah, that's a nonsense.
You know, so let's see what unfolds. Maybe the more time I spend with it, the more I'm going to adore it. It's definitely got its own personality. I will give it that. It has got its own personality and it feels a little hot roddy and it feels like you're driving a GT3 with an even more race car setup. Like it does do it, but
a GT3 with even more race car setup is GT3 RS.
Yeah, and this is theoretically an RS Touring, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what's nice about it, is it feels almost like, you know, these sort of skunk work projects from the 60s and 70s. Because everything else about it is very normal 911, just very plush 911.
Yeah.
Until there's these little elements which give you a little hint of actually under the skin here, there's quite a lot of excitement going on. And so you've got to be a certain... it's not for you, that car, at all.
No. No, I wouldn't get it, that car. Just... all the time the RS is around, I know it's a touring road-going version of an RS, but in my opinion, it's for the collectors. It's literally built that car for the collectors.
100%, and I think they haven't hidden that fact, right? It's the 60-yarder. It's the, you know, to celebrate 60 years of the 911, and it's super limited, which is for the pricing. It's the ultimate gentleman driver's car. That's what that thing is.
Yeah,
and so. Let's see. I am more intrigued and excited than I thought. I just hate a hype train, mate. I hate a hype train.
Me too.
So I'm inherently just a little bit. Anyway, let's see. How is your hunt going for a tour car?
Well, I keep changing my mind.
I thought you were going to say you bought something.
You know, for the first time in my life, I'm being hesitant around buying another car. I never, ever do this, ever. I just go out and I'll have it. But I don't know, mate. I don't know whether it's because I kind of had everything cars-wise that I've ever wanted, more than I've ever wanted, to be fair. And I've kind of ticked that box. I could manage with just the GT3.
It's really not a bad option.
Yeah. But I do want another car. But I don't know, mate. Like, I'm not desperate for one. Whereas I normally just go out and I'll just have that. That'll do me. But I'm not sure. I do still lean towards the Spider RS.
Yeah.
There's a few other cars in contention. But like I said, I really don't know what I want, which is a problem. I know how much money I want to spend, but I just don't know exactly what I want.
So just a reminder, time is ticking by. You want this for the first tour, right? The Spain tour.
Yeah.
Which is in May, which, by the way,
loads of time.
Over the weekend we had a cancellation on. So if you're still intrigued and joining us on one of the tours, but specifically Spain, which is coming up in early May, we have just had a slot free up for Spain. So jump on that for those of you that are interested. But yeah, you've got you've probably got 6 weeks really to figure it out, don't you?
Yeah, I could buy a car in a few days when I finally, and that's probably what happened. It'll be a last minute thing. It'll be that'll do.
Have you driven the Spider RS yet?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, nothing else to report.
Yeah, I mean, I drove it. A friend of mine, local to work, has got one, and he listened to the podcast, and he said, "I've got one, got a Spider RS." He said, "All the Porsches, he's got a Spider RS. Do you want to drive it for half hour?" So I did. I drive around, completely fine. Obviously, my reservations are about the noise.
That it's going to be too noisy for our jobs.
When the roof's down and I need to be on the radio.
Need to be on the radio, need to be giving instructions, information, hearing any complaints.
Yeah.
Hopefully there won't be any.
Yeah.
Where the hell are we, lads?
Tony, speed up. It's not curb crawling.
Yeah, fair. The noise, which I pointed out, could be a headache.
Yeah. But the noise wasn't, if you drive it normally, it's not too bad. You know, you can control it with the, obviously if you're driving it fast, then it's overpoweringly noisy. But it wasn't too bad. I could tell it was definitely more dialed than just a normal Boxster Spider, obviously. And not quite as dialed as a GT4 RS. And my car, obviously, was not anywhere near. It definitely felt more softer on the road. Steering was better, as in road compliant better. So
that's one thing I wanted to. I forgot to mention about the ST on that drive just now. Boy, is it a nice road car on that side of things.
Yeah.
I obviously theoretically had the software update done by Litchfield, which was to copy the damper software to make my car more road compliant. But obviously, I still have the old steering setup where the ST has this kind of dialed down steering ratio, which the new GT3s have got. And it just means that not only do you have more ride compliance, but the steering is less frantic. It just on that awful racetrack from the motorway here to you, I was like, it really sits on the road nicely. And I guess Spider RS will share some of that, or maybe that was an earlier iteration, obviously different cars, but
probably different suspension. I think the Spider RS has got McPherson and
it's old generation GT3 setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously, weight balance and weight, mid-engine.
But by the way, my friend said this to me yesterday, you forget how good the 991.2 GT3 was.
Oh, one of the best cars in the world.
It's a bloody brilliant car.
I dream about that thing.
Exactly. But that would have been completely fine. So
hold on a second.
No.
Hold on a second.
No, because of the GT3, mate. Because I already have the new shape GT3.
What do you want to tell everyone what you said to me a couple of weeks ago when you called me? Can you imagine? By the way, this is turning into a Porsche episode. I do apologise. We do have other things to talk about, but I mean, it's to be expected really on this show these days.
Yeah.
Literally, he goes, "I figured it out, mate." I went, well, I know what I'm going to get. So what are you going to get? So what? What about 992 GT3 Touring? I said, if you are telling me you are not going to bring your GT3, but instead you're going to bring a GT3 Touring, I will shoot you in the face.
I realised once you said that to me, I thought actually it's a bit silly. But the latest car on the list, so we can move on from this nonsense, the latest car on the list is an AMG Pro. And
AMG GT Pro.
AMG GTR Pro, yeah. And I have had one before, but that would be a perfect tour car.
Could you get a convertible version?
I don't want a convertible version.
Okay.
I'd want the full fat one.
You'd want, but point of differentiation to what you had before. You said you wanted convertible, ideally.
Change my mind.
Okay. By the way, just be careful because your microphone is rustling against your gilet.
Gilet.
Very nice gilet you're wearing, but it's creating a bit of a sort of...
Looks like a bin bag if you watch it on TV. If you watch it on YouTube, you see it looks like a bin bag.
It does look like a bin bag, which is appropriate for this handover bay. But anyway, yes. I mean, so you... I think you had almost as many AMG GTs as you did 488s, variants of...
Yeah, the only one I've not had is the Black Series.
Yeah,
I've not had the GTC. That's a nonsense.
But the Black Series would almost not be too much for the Tour, but might be too much for the Tour.
It's way too much, mate.
And the Pro sounds better.
Yeah.
The Pro sounds better.
Yeah, and it looks mega as well. But then, on the flip of a coin, you think, well, why don't you save yourself 50 grand and just buy the GTR and put Apple CarPlay in it?
That's how much price difference there is, 50 grand.
There's 50 grand difference in price, yeah. Just because the Pros, there's less of them, and it's a little bit newer. I mean, is it worth the difference?
It wasn't a numbered run though, was it? Was it a limited run? Yeah.
Yeah, 750 worldwide.
Oh, really?
There's about 40 in the country.
Oh, mate, get one of those.
There's really not many of them. It's really rare car.
Yeah, but then there you go. Like value wise.
Yeah, I mean it's a 6-year-old car now, so you'd think it's found its feet. But so have the AMG GTRs. I mean, how many times have we come on here before and said a supercar for 100 grand? I mean, that's the car.
Yes, it is. I mean, you literally can't go wrong. Like what a thing. And you're right. It's it's that crappy tech, but you just literally get CarPlay sorted.
Literally, it's 500 quid put CarPlay in it.
But it must have CarPlay. It just must be wired and like half screen or something.
What in the
2018? It must have CarPlay.
In the GTR, no, because it's the old.
No CarPlay at all.
In the Pro, it's got it because it's got that bigger screen.
But the GTR has no CarPlay.
No, you have to get it fitted.
We're getting to Google.
It's not hasn't got it, mate. It's the old Merc system.
Yeah,
don't forget that system's bloody 10 years old. So it was right at the end. It was a nonsense, mate. But it hasn't got it. I mean, I've had about
Apple
4 of them.
CarPlay is available for the AMG. No, that's AI Overview. Never trust AI Overview. You're starting to get that when you Google
I
things.
don't use AI.
No, it automatically does it for you.
Right, I don't really know what that means.
When you Google things, at the top you get an AI Overview, which is pretty much always wrong. Okay, so I can see that there's tons of people doing the upgrades, but I'm just like...
Yeah, because they haven't got it from standard. You can just believe me if you want.
No, but I don't.
Okay.
Because I think...
I mean, I literally spoke to my friend yesterday that fits these all the while.
Yeah, but does he fit them? Because like my Panamera obviously had wired half-screen CarPlay.
Yeah.
So I did full-screen CarPlay and wireless adapter.
Yeah.
But there's no CarPlay at all.
No.
That's a shocker, isn't it?
Got to fit it in. It's about 500 quid.
That feels like a rip-off too.
Well, you've got to fit the whole lot in.
Oh, God.
It's not just...
Just get the Pro, mate.
50 grand more,
cooler.
500 quid. Yeah, the Pro is way cooler.
It's way cooler. I remember when we were Duke of London and you had one then. Was it a white one you had?
No, I had 2 grey ones.
2 grey ones, yeah. And you pulled out behind me. It was the coolest looking thing I've seen. Like,
they are monsters. They are. I had 2 did I have 2 grey ones? Yeah.
I think if you bought a GTR on day 2, you'd say to me, I should have bought the Pro.
Yeah, but 50 grand difference.
But is that 50 grand not safer? No, because I bet the GTRs sell quickly, don't they? Because they're such good value.
They've reached that point. They're like, a good low mileage one is bloody 100 grand.
And don't forget, people, this is it's like almost like a work car. This is a tour car. This is not Tony buying his dream car. This is not a car that you plan to keep particularly long. You will likely do 75%, if not 100% of the tours in this car this year.
Correct.
And then likely sell it.
Maybe sell it this year, but I might run it for another year.
Fine.
It depends.
If it does a job.
If it's a Pro, then I'd definitely run it for the 2 years. I'd run it this year and next year.
I think you're onto something here.
I know.
Because also you know how to drive them. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not going to have to
spend
spend
that, mate.
You don't know how to drive most things, but do you know what I mean? Like you're familiar with it.
I'm familiar with them.
So you haven't got to spend the first few days like figuring out.
Yeah. Do you remember when I done the ceramic brakes on the GTR on one of them?
Literally you had a big fight with Mercedes, didn't you?
Huge fight with Mercedes. Yeah, they did cough up in the end. But yeah, I had a huge fight with them. Done a set of brakes on a track day. Ceramics as well. And even I remember messaging Smee and he said, how have you done that? I've been Nurburgring 4 million times and my brakes are absolutely fine. I've got steel brakes.
Wasn't it the rears that you did? That was the weird part.
The rears more, but the fronts were gone as well.
Yeah.
But the rears more, yeah.
That was the strange, just... Anyway. It is a nice little conundrum you've got for yourself. But this week, you're getting behind the wheel of the Vantage?
I'm going in the Vantage, mate.
Yeah, new shape Vantage. That's exciting for you.
I really hope I don't like that much because I'll end up buying one of them.
I think it's quite... I don't think that the driving... It's not dissimilar to a GTR Pro.
But it won't be quite as focused, will it? It's going to be a bit softer. It's going to be a bit more like a Turbo S, maybe?
No. Well, don't forget... I'm going to see what you think. But they purposefully dialed up the aggression to give it this sensation of sports car,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you're not wrong. It's also got sort of a lot of play. You figure it out.
I'll figure it
Talk
out.
to me about it next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we do that next week? Will you give us an
Talk about it
update?
next week. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having it. I've got it for the weekend. So,
So now the thing is, which often happens here.
uh-oh. You're buying a car.
Well, I caught the bug.
Yes, you are. Come on.
Because all this chat and like looking for cars for you, because I do that, mate, you know, every now and again, if I've got a boring evening, now that my wife's not home, I've got nothing to do, twiddle
Once
my
the
thumbs.
baby's gone to sleep.
Baby's gone to sleep, and I'm sitting there being like, oh, a bit lonely this, isn't it? So I jump on the used listings, have a little browse, and I then start to look at stuff for myself, which I think people who follow me on Instagram have clocked. Because I got
you put stupid statements out all the time, like asking for a friend. Do you think they're silly?
No,
I mean,
but
it's clear.
it's a joke.
Yeah, but like,
It's a joke, like ... asking for a friend, ... like.
but why don't you just put, I want to buy a new car and that's the lot?
No,
What's
I'm
all
just
that
having a bit of
nonsense?
fun with it. It's a
Is
bit,
it?
you know, it's a bit silly, mate. It's a bit silly. It's non-committal. It's mainly for my wife in China. If she looks at my Instagram stories and goes, why on earth are you posting this?
Because you know that some people genuinely come up to me and say,
Who's Sam's friend?
literally, genuinely. So it's not everyone that gets it, by the way.
I actually had Julian from Deal and Drive in Luxembourg send me a link saying, for your friend. I was like, Julian, I am the friend.
I don't have any
me.
friends.
It's me. And
I
I
have
can't
constant
afford
arguments in my head with my friend.
and I can't afford a European car, so leave me alone. Yeah, so we spoke about the Rapide AMR, which was very exciting, and then I was just a bit like, no. So then I was like, well, look, I
That's
mean,
no good for a tour car, Rapide MR.
no, but that was a whole different thing. That was to swap the Panamera. That was the start. That was the beginning of the disease.
Right.
So then I was like, well, hold on a sec. What could I actually justify here? Like, if I'm actually going to buy a car, like, let's think Tony's mentality. Tour car.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got bloody challenge driving the GT3. I am fine.
But you cannot take that challenge to Audi, mate.
Of course I can.
Well,
I
you
totally plan on doing that.
Are you going to take one? Are you going to take it?
100% on one of the trips, I will take the Challenge Stradale
Fair.
for sure.
Fair enough.
And the GT3 is it is actually the ultimate tour car.
And that's the problem I always have. Literally, because I have the car that if I didn't have it, it's literally what I'd go and buy.
Yeah, but you've just put the Manti kit on it and made it silly. So,
Yeah, I can't.
And you're nervous about mileage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No.
So I went back to it and I just came back to the same place that I always end up of Project A. So I put out the story saying, the problem with Project A is they just don't come, you just can't find them.
You cannot buy one of them.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
In this country, they are just hard to come by in an attractive spec. I'm not that surprised. People that bought these cars, for some reason, just were colorblind or had the worst taste ever. So some of the specs are atrocious.
Yeah.
And then obviously I want a 4-seat version because I want to be able to put the baby in the back. She's not a baby anymore, but you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I can't find out. There was one for sale, Jaguar Classic. Thank you everyone who sent me that link. But two things I knew about that car. Firstly is the fact that it had 30,000 miles and I'm going to use this thing. So I didn't want to end up with a 50,000 mile Project A. And secondly, it was Sam Bird's car.
Oh dear.
And I know Sam quite well and he's such a nice guy.
Flat out.
Yeah, literally. And I feel like I've been on like a experience day with him where he's given me like a hot lap in that car. And I was like, I don't want to go near that thing.
No.
So yeah, the hunt is kind of on, but it's a semi-serious hunt. But long story short, if you've got a Project A in the UK that you want to sell that's got 4 seats, hit me up. I did also get offered quite an outrageous Ferrari Roma.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect.
It is.
That does your pottering car. Get rid of the Panamera. Does your pottering car and a tour car, and you just share it with the GT3. You share it across the 3 cars. You bring your Roma on one. You bring the GT3 on one. You bring the CS on one.
Your argument is
Third world problem, by the way. But
yeah, where I'd got in my head. Problem is car seat. I'm a couple of years early.
Yeah.
I actually went down to see the car, took the car seat with me, not a thing.
Right.
Once my daughter gets to like 4 or 5 years old, perfect car.
Yeah, because Molly was 5 or 6 when I had my one, and she used to get in the back all the while.
Well, yeah, so obviously I've been like in this headspace and the dealer's been messaging me, hey, what are your thoughts about the Roma? And I'm like, I love it. And then on Saturday, I was going for a walk and this Roma pulled up by my little smoothie shop that I go to.
Yeah.
And the family got out, a dad, a mum, and a little girl.
Yeah, perfect.
And I was like, look, there it goes. But she was like, she wasn't in a car, she was in a little
Was
booster.
it black, the car?
No, grey with a red interior. Quite a rank spec, I thought, but
Right.
each to their own. So the Roma that I looked at is perfect. And mate, the finance deal on the Roma, Magnitude sent through an absolute corker.
Right.
And I was like,
How much?
okay, I'm wondering because now it sounds ridiculous because now I'm saying it's a corker and it's a ton of money.
Well, it's not because it's for a business, mate. But you know, like it'll be similar money to what I want to pay for it. It's for a purpose.
It's a 135 grand car.
Yeah.
15,000 miles, 2021. Deposit, 15 grand.
1,400 quid a month.
1290.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Oh, man, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah. It's all right.
It's a ton of money, but
You sell your Panamera, you're halfway there.
yeah. But I mean, it doesn't fit my lifestyle.
So it costs
At
you
this point, it's,
cost you $7,000 a year just write off on the tours.
no, but it doesn't. If I can't take my daughter in it, like regularly, like every day,
Yeah.
and also I have an inherent fear that if I left a Roma at Heathrow Airport for a week because I'm off filming in California, I would get back and I'm worried that like the battery's going to have died or something.
No. I think you'd be all right with a Roma. I think 296 is a problem, but I think you'll be all right with a Roma. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I was at Ferrari dealer at the weekend.
Oh, you too.
Oh, was you? Was you?
Thought we didn't cross paths.
Yeah. And the salesman was talking nonsense to me, and he said that first of all he proceeded to tell me how good 296 was and how good the values were, blah 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 blah, and then proceeded to tell me that they're doing unbelievable finance deals on them at 4.7% as a used car. And they're doing that because there's so many used cars on the market.
Wow.
Obviously, so but it makes them better value. You still got to put a chunk of money in. So I said to him, do me a quote then.
Okay.
So based on a 200 odd grand car, early 200s, 41 grand in,
41.
1,500 quid a month.
I mean,
But I wouldn't put 41 grand in, but
you put 50.
just buy it. No,
I've got cash in the back of the car. Would you take that?
yeah. Yeah, do you take soldiers?
I mean, we're so out of touch with these figures and claims.
We're not, because that's what we drive.
And that's our world. But it's so.
Sorry about that, people.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. I think it's a bit brash. I actually don't like talking about these numbers.
No, fair, but I know you don't like it, but these are facts, mate. If you're looking for a supercar, that they're fact numbers. I appreciate everyone isn't looking for a supercar.
Yeah.
But if you are, then
fair.
I'm not buying one. Yeah. I'm just saying they're the figures.
I'm being insecure. I think my hunt is a little bit hot air. I genuinely,
most things that come out of your mouth.
If Project A, if I get offered a proper Project A, I'm still always.
So you're not going to buy a car now?
No. I'm telling you, like, and the Roma, like, but I just can't. I can't actually. I have to be able to justify these things.
I just
mate.
hope you don't buy a car, because I'll have no more of them asking for a friend post. I mean, I'm not listening to them
I'm
anymore.
going to be asking for a friend for an ST by the end of the week, aren't I?
You will be.
And look, when I drive that Carrera T, we're all in trouble when I drive that Carrera T.
Yeah,
because I'm excited.
Maybe
about
just
that.
have one of them for a tour car.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? 100 odd grand, be nice and safe.
Oh, someone just said they've sent a key. Sorry, let me read this.
Someone
email.
sent a key?
I've got my emails open on my laptop whilst recording. That's not very good, is it?
It's not very professional.
Not
no,
very professional
We're talking
at
about cars and you're talking about keys.
Someone just sent a
Not
message
car
saying,
keys
we
either.
think we found a key.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Just get a Carrera T, put the baby in the back, done it.
No, I got the GT3 for that. Anyway, they're boring because... Anyway. Quickly, before we move on to some questions that people have submitted.
Yeah.
Do we think Maserati are about to implode?
Well, they said they're not going to make the electric car because no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, because
You
no one's buying the combustion engine
Yep.
version. I think they're really in a bit of trouble, aren't they? And Stellantis is like just taking away a load of money.
Well, yeah, because they were gearing up to build that electric car.
And other things, and they just pulled the plug on like a whole load of funding. There's all these question marks about like, what's the deal here? What's going on with Maserati? Are you going to try and give them the chop? Are you going to try to sell them off? Like,
Sell them off.
What are the Maserati products at the moment?
Yeah.
I really like that Gran Turismo thing, but they're just not moving.
No.
No one's buying them.
No.
All the money. MC20s, as we've spoken about quite a few times before, fundamentally a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. Not for me. Thank you.
Are they going to be dead in the water soon? It would be a shame to lose Maserati.
Someone will buy it, mate.
The Chinese.
Someone will buy. Why do they want it?
Because the Chinese buy everything, don't they?
Don't know, do they?
MG, Volvo, Mercedes.
Yeah, these are all volume brands, though. What are they going to do with Maserati? Turn it into a volume brand?
Yeah, MG wasn't, mate.
MG, they just bought the name.
What about Lotus?
Well, how's that getting on?
Not well, but I have seen a lot of those Electras knocking around now since they started doing those finance deals.
You know what my mate's just gone and bought? He's absolutely lost the plot, by the way. This is a big Porsche guy. Mm-hmm. He's gone and bought an A110 bloody Alpine thing for 57 grand. I said, are you well? He said, I just really want something like...
Hold on a second, though. Car of the Tour last year on the drive to Austria was an A110. We gave
most
it an
of the
award.
week on the motorway.
No, we didn't. We gave him a freaking award for surprise, like the car of the tour.
Well,
How quickly you forget things.
Well, I didn't agree with it. I just went along with it.
What's wrong with an Alpine, mate?
Well, it's not for me, mate. I really hope he likes it, and he's a very good friend of mine, and I really hope he likes it, but I think what's going to happen, he's going to have it a month and go, oh, I've made a mistake here. And he's going to blow 10 grand, and he's going to shout at me for no reason, because I didn't tell him to buy it, but it'll be my fault. I just don't know what to say to these people, mate. I literally can't educate them anymore.
I quite like an A110. I don't think I'd buy one.
Exactly. Like...
They're dead as well now, so it's a good investment.
He said it was 70 grand new.
Anyway.
Flipping hell.
Watch this space for Maserati and for Alpine, I think. Okay, let's get into some questions that have been
got
submitted.
questions?
Yep, thank you, everybody.
Lovely, like questions.
Via behind the glass __ podcast. Cooper S, when are behind the glass lives being announced? I think next week.
They're coming.
I think next week. We are literally just finalising a date. We're initially going to just be launching, I think, 3 events. We've got a lot more in the pipeline, but we just want to launch the first 3 initially, and then we'll be unveiling a lot more. And full disclosure, it's a mixture of European and UK dates.
So we've got so much to do this year.
We've got too much to do, but we're literally just waiting for one of the venues just to literally firm something up, which they haven't done in time for this morning. So it will be next week. But Behind the Glass Lives, the first 3 dates should be unveiled next week. And then from then on, we'll just be sporadically announcing further dates. But it's looking like sort of May onwards. May, June, July. May, June, July, August. Lots of events. And then we're just still figuring out the second half of the year. But yeah, coming real soon. We always like these. G.A. Gahollers. What estate car would you recommend for under 18k? Comfort, luxury, over speed. 18k.
BMW 320 diesel estate.
I knew you were going to say that, so I'm going to flip it and say an E-class diesel.
That, do you know what? That newer shape E-class diesel, like they're a bit more than 18 or 20 grand, but they're probably 30-ish, like an E400 diesel, like rocking horse poo, by the way, and a brilliant car.
Brilliant car.
But you ain't getting one for 18 grand, you're getting an older one for 18 grand. So don't listen to him buy the 320 because it's better.
I mean, it's so obvious as the 3 Series. Like it's just
yeah.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
But something about a non-AMG'd E-class estate that I really like. Really like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would have seen this. The Werewolf. Thoughts on the new Audi interiors? The photos I've seen, it looks very cheap and plastic. Have you seen all the new? Did you see the new A6 launch?
Yeah. I've seen all the new. I think it looks all right, mate. It's just a little bit of a step on. I mean, I've not sat in one, but it's a little bit of a step on quality-wise from the previous car. Yeah, just updated it.
Yeah, I like it. I think Audi is starting to bring back a bit of a design language that gets me buzzed.
Yeah, I think the roles reverse have slightly tipped now back towards Audi and Merc for interiors. I think BMW are getting a little bit left behind again.
Well, that's why I think this Neue Klasse is going to be the thing that's going to bring BMW back into the forefront. I think Mercedes are falling behind in general. I don't know what they're doing, what is going on with Mercedes. Like, who are they? What are they?
Yeah.
You know what I always read as, and I had this conversation with someone at bloody Top Gear the other day, you can't get a Mercedes press car these days.
Really?
Yep. They're literally like, not a thing. Unless you are a fashion influencer who's going to drive to the Hugo Boss Milan catwalk, like actual general journalism, they were saying that they are really struggling. Like, there's like and what direction are they going in? Like, what are their
Well, they've changed their sales strategy massively. They've gone to what we call an agency model, and they have done for a couple of years now, where it's almost like you go on a website and you click and buy a car, not the old traditional way where you go into a dealer, you try and negotiate a deal. That's all gone now. Yeah. So, the dealers are just bloody collection centres almost. So, yeah, maybe they've just changed their whole marketing strategy and everything.
It's weird. But
yeah, very weird.
Yeah, I do think, Audi feel like they're coming with quite a lot of exciting new products at the minute that...
Well, they were a bit dead for a while, weren't they, Audi? They'd sort of lost their way a bit. And we have said this before, because they were literally just bringing out electric cars that were going out of fashion. And now they seem to have upped the game a little bit now. Yeah. So let's see.
I'll come back. I know. Lackey Rafferty. Any inside information on the 918 replacement? Well,
I don't know anything. You?
We are known to break a few Porsche exclusives over here on the podcast.
Facts.
Straight facts. Yep. No rumours, no gossip.
Yeah, facts.
But I've absolutely nothing to tell you about the 918 replacement.
But I am exclusive for coming again.
I am going to LA at the end of the month, and I'm hoping to catch up with our sister show, Spike's Car Radio, at least Spike. Yeah. And they're always talking about future models, and so I'll try and get some inside scoop from them.
Yeah.
This question I absolutely adore. Just watch what happens here, people. Robbie Hutch. Does Tony accept that the 750S was on cold tyres and he went into the corner too quick, hence why it understeered?
Stop talking nonsense. I'm literally just not going to engage in that conversation. I'm not interested in your opinions. Let's go around the racetrack. I'll give you 10 seconds head start and I'll still beat you round, all right? That's the end. No, actually 30 seconds head start.
Thank you, Robbie, for that one.
Thanks, Robbie. It's very kind of you, mate. Come and say hello if you ever go to a live.
Have you fallen out of love with the Panamera? I'd say the opposite. I like the Panamera more and more each day. Tony has just ruined me by planting the seed in my head that we need to buy cars for the tours this year. And so now I'm just like, yeah, let's do that.
Is he coming on the tour?
What, the Panamera?
No.
No, this guy's asked it. No. As I'm just saying, he's said, have you fallen out of love with the Panamera? Because obviously I've been talking about buying
I've destroyed
cars.
You.
You've destroyed me with planting the seed that we need to buy cars for the tour.
I thought you were saying bloody he's got a Panamera and he wants to come on the tour and I've destroyed him.
No. So the point being that if you hadn't have planted that seed, I probably would have been talking about how much I love the Panamera.
Yeah, fair.
But now I'm saying like, well, that's the car that's got to go.
Yeah.
For my tour car that I don't need. Will Skingley. What happened to a hot hatch road trip? Remember we talked about that for a while.
Well, I think we can do one day. I mean, we do have a tour business now, by the way. Did you know?
Do a hot hatch tour.
Yeah.
It does time, Will. Time's got away from us. We always plan these things. We need to be like Greg James and have a list of things that we say we're going to do and haven't quite delivered on yet.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ed Tainch, 20k fun and cool estate. Again, same thing, sorry. Okay, this is an interesting one. It's Federico Campana, great name. Can you estimate the difference between UK and European car prices? I don't think we can estimate the difference. It's obviously going to be different depending on the cars. But do we just want to touch on the fact that in the last 5 years post-Brexit, we have some of the cheapest value supercars in the world?
Well, it's gone back round the other way. So it used to be the other way.
That's what I mean. So forever, it was an attractive proposition, wasn't it, for us to go and buy cars in Europe? Left-hand drive examples in Europe, they'd be, 50 grand sometimes, cheaper than a UK example.
Yeah, of course.
Import it, pay a little bit of the import duty, and you're good, you're still ahead.
Yeah.
Where now, I would say a lot of our cars are 75 to 100 grand cheaper than European and US examples. So how do you read that? Why do you think that is?
Supply and demand. It's an audience. Obviously, a left-hand drive market around the world, and that's where a lot of these cars go now. They go around the world, so it's a bigger audience, so it's a bigger demand, bigger supply. Whereas our UK cars, right-hand drive cars, where can they actually go?
But hasn't that always been the case?
Yeah, but obviously people years ago would go, oh, rare is good. As in, let's have a right-hand drive car because it's rare and it's going to hold its money better. But actually, in the real world, where'd you go with a right-hand drive car? If you're buying for the world, which is, these big hitter cars, they're all left-hand drive cars.
And it's not because of our change in import-export duties and taxes and things like that post-Brexit.
Brexit would have had a little bit to do with it, I'm sure. And all the importers will probably agree with that. But normally it's because of a demand. And there's less demand for right-hand drive cars around the world than there are left-hand drive cars because most countries are left-hand drive.
Yeah, but that argument should have meant that we would always have had cheaper cars. The fact that it's done a swing in the last 5 years suggests it's a Brexit thing because that argument has been true forever. Okay, maybe shipping cars around the world has got cheaper or other cars, import rules.
It got more expensive and then it got cheaper again, yeah.
I don't know why anyone would have bought a right-hand drive car in a left-hand drive country when they were more expensive. So it doesn't quite make sense or add up. But I can understand why we were buying cars from left-hand drive.
Unless it was a rarity point of view. That's what I said. It was a rarity. It's a rarity point of view, and someone wanted a right-hand drive car because from an investment rarity point of view. But again, you got Australia, Cyprus, China,
Indonesia.
Yeah, there's really not many places around the world.
Did you say China?
Not China. Japan.
Japan.
Yeah. There's really not that many places around the world that drive on our side.
Yeah. But I just think it's a weirdly coincidental switch in the market, and you can
maybe it is just Brexit.
Yeah, you can definitely say that we now have some of the most affordable or the lowest value supercars globally.
Yeah.
So if you are shopping internationally, it is worth looking at the UK market, sucking up having a right-hand drive car in a left-hand drive country, because by the time you've paid export and import duties and taxes, you might still be ahead comparatively.
But we don't want that, by the way.
We don't want to be shipping cars out, I know, but I'm just saying.
We don't want the rest of the world buying our cars because their cars go up.
Yeah, of course. I'm we're a different frame of mindset. I'm trying to give some nice consumer advice. You're trying to protect your industry, yeah. T-Bond at 55k, does the Emira appeal more now than over a 718 GT4?
No.
What's the price difference? 15, 20k? 55 versus what, 70?
Yeah, probably, yeah. You're probably not far wrong. No, I'd still have the Porsche. Me, personally. A lot of people will have the Emira, I'm sure.
Lots of similar questions here that I'm just slightly powering through because we've sort of touched on it many times before, so I'm trying to find the ones that jump out. Luke Hogan, will Tony be attending the Nurburgring as much this year as he did last year?
Unfortunately not. My car will probably go back out there for a bit. But no, I've got too much to do. I've got tours, I do BTG Lives
coming next
events, week. I will go out there, but nowhere near what I've done last year.
_ Richie, Chance Stradale update. I do have some updates actually for you. I am off next week to Italy to collect the material for my interior. I'm collecting it from Alcantara.
Where did you... Oh, no, you went to Netherlands.
Yeah, I went to Netherlands to collect the sticky buttons.
Right.
To get the sticky buttons, and now I'm going to Italy to collect the materials. So,
driving to Italy?
No, flying in. So I'm flying.
Put them in your bag and come back?
Yeah. It's obviously an unnecessary trip, but it's content, and I'm taking quite a cool car to the Alcantara HQ.
Oh.
I can reveal that. It's the Ferrari Dodici Cilindri.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm picking that up from Maranello, driving to Alcantara, grabbing the materials and flying home.
Not with the Cilindri though.
Unfortunately, the 12-cylinder has to stay there. So interior trim is coming along quite quickly now. Once they've got the materials, that's going to rapidly progress. So we finalised all the trim choices, which was a headache and a stress, and stitching things, and Too many choices. Way too many choices. But I've finalised all that. And as I say, D-Class, absolute legends and heroes who've done a lot of my interior work over the years and do incredible work across the industry that they don't get to talk about that often, have hooked me up directly with Alcantara, and Alcantara now supporting the project and helping me out with some special materials. So stay tuned for that. Paint, long old process.
Really?
Woo, long old process.
Right.
You know, not looking to rush it, but just I think because
When are you going to get the car back?
attention to detail is what I'm getting told. Just level of perfectionism. And I'm a bit like, well, he can cut some corners. I kind of want the car back. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't need to paint the underside. I'll be all right.
But you do want it done properly,
Yes,
mate.
yeah.
You know, like just let them do it.
Yes.
And if it takes a bit longer, then so be it.
And Hilton and Moss are being amazing because they give me
yeah.
weekly updates. I get photos. I can go down and see it whenever I want.
Yeah.
And I would far rather, this is literally the pride and joy, everything be as it is and perfect. And that's what they're doing.
This is your forever car, right?
It should be factory fresh.
Yeah.
When I get it, which we're praying is going to be April,
Right.
it should be factory fresh. So let's see. Lots of people asking why there was no video on Sunday. I told you. Fuming, mate. If Tony was to be a franchise dealer, what brand would he sell?
I mean, that's actually a harder question than a few years ago. I'd have instantly gone Porsche or Ferrari, but I think they're all hard work now. I think they're very dictated to by the manufacturer about what they can do and where they can do it, and oversupply. I would never want to be a franchise or anything like that. Leave it to the dealer groups. Mate, they don't make any money.
Yeah.
Huge
Hard work,
turnover,
right?
bloody make 1% a year. It's bloody hard work.
That's no fun at all, is it?
No.
Broke Brian, any thoughts of coming down to Southeast Asia? That would be fun taking you
That
to
would
Asia.
be mega.
You would love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That'll be a future. That's maybe a 2026 situation, isn't it?
We'll do a tour there.
I don't know. We just need to get down there. Just do
Yeah,
stuff.
let's go down there.
We could do like a Mille type event.
We can get a couple of drift cars and go flat out. Can't we go around Tokyo flat out?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Do you get nicked or what?
Yeah, I think
Is that
you do.
allowed or?
Yeah, I think you do get nicked. Elliot Dyson, I currently have a GR86. Is it a bad idea swapping it for a higher mileage, older F-Type? Absolutely not. Go and do it. I'd go and do it. GR86 is mega, but there's nothing like the experience will be completely different in an F-Type.
Right.
As long as it's a
It'll-
V6. Don't get the 4-cylinder. V6 or V8.
Yeah. Your experience will be completely different because all you'll be doing is throwing money at it to try and maintain it.
I never had to maintain mine.
All right. Well, you were lucky then. There were horror stories about them cars.
Yeah, there's horror stories about everything.
There
I
is,
literally...
You don't get horror stories about GT86s. Bulletproof.
Yeah, okay. That's the GR86. That's the
That's a
new one.
lovely
We don't
little
know
car.
that yet.
We drove one of them.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Here.
Yeah. I want to rate my ride.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Let's just do a refresh, see if anything's come through. Could you do a video touring your studio and also showing a behind the scenes?
It's not a lot to see.
It's not a lot to see, to be fair. I've always thought about whether it's worth doing like a day in the life, but I actually think it's just a bit of an egotistical thing to do. But maybe we could do that someday or somehow we could do something. Studio, I mean, not a lot beyond what you see on the podcast. Obviously, we're here in the Handover Bay at Gravelwood today. I always think about going back into having a bit of an HQ and stuff like that, but with the amount I travel, it doesn't always add up. I'd have to shift my business model to have an HQ again. But yeah, maybe at some point we'll do that. Anyway, mate, when are you getting the Vantage? On Friday?
Yeah.
For the weekend?
Friday for the weekend.
You're going to go anywhere? You're just going to pot around in it?
I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure, 1,000,000%.
Where are you watching the Grand Prix?
That's on early hours of the morning.
6 a.m. So probably
No,
early,
it's
right?
not. It's
Yeah,
bloody
it is.
4 or 5 a.m.
No, 6 a.m. UK
Are you
time.
sure?
Race start. I think qualifying's 4. I think. Let's see.
I'll watch it at home, and I'll get up and watch it as well.
Yeah. I've already cleared that because Vicky gets back on like Saturday morning. I said,
Please.
I know you're going to be jet lagged, but the only thing you're going to have to do is look after the baby on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think it's 4 or 5 a.m. lights out, I think.
No.
No?
No, because they shifted it all for European timings, didn't they?
Did they?
Here we go. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You are correct.
Again.
Wow, 4 a.m.
It's all right,
So
innit?
they've shifted it back.
It's all right, innit? We'll have some of that.
No,
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
won't-
I'll shove it on record.
Will you?
Yeah, mate. Not
I'm
with
going to message you at 4:20 when there's been a big crash and tell you everything just to piss you off.
the way the baby's sleeping at the minute. I can't deal, mate. Last 2 nights I've been awake. I go to sleep and I get woken up. So between 12 and 2 the last 2 nights.
Yeah.
And then once I'm up, I'm up. So then from 2 till like 3:30 or 4, I'm kind of like just in my head. And then I just about fade. And then at 5:30, Papa?
Papa. So what she says, Papa?
Yeah. And that's the worst thing. She thinks is really funny. She goes, Papa, where are you? And I'm literally lying in bed being like, not coming anywhere near you.
Not today.
Disaster. Okay, well, we can text them about that, and we will have a lot to discuss next week because we'll have your Vantage Drive and the first race result. Go on, make a prediction. Who's winning on Sunday?
Lando.
Wouldn't it be cool if Lewis won?
Oh, mate. I'd be absolutely ecstatic, but I
We're
just think
such
Lando.
losers. Yeah, Lando. Okay. Stay tuned. If you want to submit questions for future episodes, you can do that on Behind the Glass at Behind the Glass __ podcast. That's our Instagram. As I mentioned, we had that cancellation for Spain. So if you have been going back and forth and thinking about it, hit up ontheroad.tours. All the information of how to place a deposit for a spot is on there. And BTG Live information. Oh my God, and I need to bloody update everyone on my stocks. I keep saying I'm going to do it every week. I forget to do it. So I want to chat to you about. Actually, that'll be interesting. Post the first race, how my Mercedes, Ferrari, and Aston Martin and BYD stocks that remember the investments I've done.
Oh, I see.
Swissquote.
Got you.
Talk about how they're doing. See if they shift post the
the
Grand
race.
Prix.
Yeah, check
Come
before
on.
and then check after.
Get on the old Swissquote app and just watch it live. Watch my shares all over the place. Anyway, that's all to come. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll be back with you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.